All right, let's take a look at what the Browns have done so far. We'll project out the offense right here. Obviously, Baker Mayfield is your quarterback. Kareem Hunt will get there at the end of the 8-game suspension. Nick Chubb and Duke Johnson Jr. Wide receivers, it's a pretty good group right here. Beckham, Landry, and Callaway, and David Njoku. You think Njoku's the starter or Harris?
I think Njoku's the starter, but Harris was brought in to kind of be that run-blocking tight end. So it'll sort of depend what they want to do early in the game. And I think that's probably the position with the biggest question mark, too, because Njoku hasn't really done it.
He's shown flashes.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
Kind of
it's
ticks
just
you off
been
that
flashes.
Yeah, it ticks you off that he's not better all the time. All right, so if you're going to categorize this team right now, is it A, an offensive team, B, a defensive team, and C, is it a running team or is it a passing team or combination of both?
I mean, I think offensive is the way to go. I mean, they're going to be a high-powered offense, and I think they're going to be fairly pass-heavy. They brought in Todd Monken, who runs the air raid. Now, Freddie Kitchens does like to run the football, but I think they're going to be a pass-heavy team. They're going to throw the ball a lot, and it might be quick stuff, little passes that are sort of like runs.
Right.
But they're going to throw the ball a lot more.
They got to cut down
on
him getting hit. He didn't get hit much last year.
Yeah, exactly. So I think you'll see quicker throws.
All right. The reason he didn't get hit last year much was the offensive line did very well. Let's take a look at what we project as the offensive line now. Greg Robinson at left tackle. Left guard is Joel Bitonio. J.C. Treader is the center. Austin Corbett, he's a big question mark, and so is Chris Hubbard on the right side.
Yeah, I think it's that right side that you really have to look at. Hubbard got better as the year went along, but Corbett, we don't know exactly what he is yet because we haven't seen it. You know, J.C. Treader might have been the big winner when Kevin Zeitler got traded because that frees up some money in that position group, and he's going to hit free agency after this season. So he played really well on a high ankle sprain last year. He'll be healthy. Maybe he can cash in a little bit.
There's nothing they have done that makes you look like they're doing anything but trying to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they're being aggressive. And even though John Dorsey said at the Combine they weren't necessarily going for it, obviously that's not true. Because you sign Kareem Hunt, you trade for Odell Beckham. Those are moves of a team that's going for it and trying to win and win big.
Right. All right. What do you hear about the question about Beckham Jr. is that he's troubled, but all the reports we hear are his teammates loved him. He stuff that he did off the field, maybe a question mark or two, but there doesn't seem to be as many questions about him as you would think.
Yeah, it's sort of a lot of tabloid headline sort of stuff. He's not going out and getting arrested. You know, everything sounds like he showed up on time to meetings. He put in the work off the field that he needed to put in. A good teammate, like you mentioned. It's just some of the tabloid type stuff, the boat trip the week before the playoff game and things like that maybe concern you a little bit.
Yeah, and what concerns me, he threw his quarterback Eli Manning under the bus, which I don't think was necessary.
Yeah, and if you win, a lot of that stuff gets masked. But if you're losing and struggling like the Giants were, that's when that stuff starts to come out.
You've always heard about sports teams that you can get away with a bad apple or two, but not too many of them.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to have too combustive of a locker room. You don't mind having that kind of loud, demonstrative guy, but then you got to have the quiet guy that maybe just shows up and does his job and isn't going to complain.
And what you really need is a veteran to take over and say, look, this is the way we do it around here.